Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sawyer Center on the campus of Southern Nazarene University in Bethany, Oklahoma. SNU basketball live and on the air. Tonight in Great American Conference action, the Crimson Storm play host to their rivals from down I-40 in Shawnee, the Oklahoma Baptist Bison in the house, looking to knock off the Crimson Storm and get on the board on the women's side in conference play for the first time and snap an 8-game losing streak to the Crimson Storm on the men's side. Hi, everyone. Luke McConnell here at the Sawyer Center alongside Emily Jackson. It's rivalry week across the conference, and we should have a tightly contested pair of games here this evening as the Crimson Storm host the Bison. SNU coming off 2 home wins a week ago against Arkansas Tech and Harding, all in convincing fashion. The closest game of the 4 was the women's 79-72 win over the Harding Bisons last Saturday afternoon. SNU, of course, bouncing back last week after a tough weekend in Arkadelphia. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Oklahoma Baptist Bison come in tale of 2 stories on that side. The women have lost 4 in a row and come in 4-10, 0-8 in conference play, where the Oklahoma Baptist men come in having won 6 of 7, including 3 in a row in conference play. They sit at 10-4, 5-3 in conference play. But we'll get started first up with the women's game. SNU has really turned it up as of late. Again, winning those last 2. They've won 4 of their last 5 in conference play, dating back to December 14th win over Southeastern here at the Sawyer Center, and that to date is Southeastern's lone conference loss in Great American play. SNU, the best field goal percentage of the season versus Harding on Saturday at 55.8%. They continue to struggle at the foul line, though. 20 of 34 combined against Tech and Harding a week ago. But the best story, if you're an SNU fan, and certainly if you're head coach Trent May, is that the turnovers that have plagued SNU all season long, down considerably a week ago. Just 9 against Tech, their season low by 5. And then 16 turnovers against Harding, which a little bit more on average with what SNU has seen this season, but certainly in the lower third of what they have given up all season long. SNU managed to get those 2 wins by dominating 2 of the top rebounding teams in the conference. They out-rebounded Tech by 11 and out-rebounded Harding by 8. Really impressive performances on the glass for the Crimson Storm, which have been decent on the glass this season, but certainly have not stood out to the degree they have in past seasons. Defense a little bit of an issue against Harding, as Harding knocked down quite a few 3-pointers against the Crimson Storm. It was just the second time an opponent has scored over a point per possession against the Crimson Storm women this season. And for SNU, though, it was their best offensive output of the season from an efficiency standpoint, as SNU averaged 1.12 points per possession against the Bisons. SNU has been doing it from the 3-point line. They're number 1 in the conference this year at 39%. And in conference play, they're even better, 42.6%. And they'll face a tough task against the Bison of Oklahoma Baptist, as they're number 2 in the conference in 3-point defense at 28.9%. Opponent shooting from 3 against them this season, so should be a great battle within the game to watch this evening. And Emily, we were here last week against Arkansas Tech and saw SNU come out with a really big win against the Golden Suns, and they've continued to just build on that momentum all season long and have really turned out to be quite an impressive club this year.
Oh, yes, most definitely. I'm really excited just to see this game, and I just think the girls have got it under control. I mean, they play really well together, and their confidence has got to be just overwhelming right now with these past home game wins, and I'm just really excited to see what they've got tonight.
On the flip side, Oklahoma Baptist has struggled this year. Again, 0-8 in conference play, but talking to head coach Trent May yesterday, he was saying, looking at the stat sheet, you would never guess this team is 0-8. The biggest loss for the Bison, the loss of freshman guard Khalifa Ford, averaging 17.7 points per game and 8.8 rebounds per game. She's out for the season with an injury, and they've been struggling with injuries all season long. Certainly not alone in that regard this season, as we saw Tech losing 2 starters before they came to Bethany last week. Also big on the injuries, and we saw firsthand Kelly Lampo of Harding go down with an injury against SNU on Saturday. So injuries biting quite a few teams in the Great American Conference. SNU getting a few players back from injury tonight. Nefer Leon and Massey Beard both back from concussions. They went through warm-ups. We should expect to see them here tonight against the Bison. We'll go ahead and pitch it over to head coach Trent May and get his thoughts on this evening's game against the Bison, and then we will come back with final thoughts before we get ready for tip-off with the starting lineups and the opening tip. So let's go ahead and hear from head coach Trent May now.
And we're joined now by SNU head coach Trent May, discussing this evening's game against Oklahoma Baptist. And coach, 2 big wins for you last week, and a big key was dominating the boards against 2 of the top rebounding teams in the conference.
Yeah, that's one of our focuses, and this time of year, hopefully there's not too many things that you have to continue to harp on, and that's been one for us. But we've been doing a good job as of late, and so hopefully we can continue that and just make it one of our another strengths that we can use in just what we're trying to do to get better at.
Abby had a strong weekend in terms of post play. We talked about that in the post game of those. But what's your season been like behind the scenes that we haven't seen just on game days?
I don't know if anything specific behind the scenes is different from any other person. I mean, we try to get the work in that we need. Sometimes in practice, you don't get all the things that you specifically need individually, so we try to touch on those during the week if we can, time pertaining. But we also, the film sessions are invaluable. And so, I mean, it's just, again, there's nothing behind the scenes different from her than any other player. But yeah, I mean, she's working hard and doing a great job.
You've turned into a fantastic three-point shooting team, 39% for the season, 42.5% in conference play. But your offense isn't three-point centric. Is that by design and just kind of taking what the defense gives you?
Well, when you have drivers that can penetrate and get in the lane, that definitely creates opportunities from the outside. And so it's something that that we look to do. We want to get the ball in the paint and see what happens. We got good post players that can finish, and so if we can get the ball to them, great. And if we can finish, by just the drive itself, awesome. But usually, there's not too much discipline on the outside once the ball gets in the paint. So we really try to do a good job moving off the ball and making sure that we're spaced properly, and which is still a work in progress for us. But we're doing a good job of finding that person and then knocking down the shots.
JC's leading the charge on threes, but she's also developing really nicely as a passer. 9 assists last weekend. What's that development been like for her?
Well, she does a good job with her vision. She sees that what if her teammates find her and the results are positive in that, what happens when she also in return finds her teammates that are open and vice versa. And so it's what you're looking for, that great balance. If you can knock down the shot, great. If you can drive and create for others, great as well. And so I mean it's kind of like pick your poison with her. And so I love it when you're versatile and you can score at all 3 levels like she can. I mean, it's just we do our scouting report, and there's some players that that we're competing against that it's just like if you just catch, when they catch the ball, if you're in a great position. But players that are really hard to defend are the ones that can score at all 3 levels, and that's JC in a nutshell right now.
SNU and OBU have a historic rivalry. What does a rivalry add to the programs, fan interest, things like that?
I think it's big in name. Obviously this is my second year. I don't know if I would deem I don't personally have a rivalry yet within this conference, as sometimes coaches do. But I think it's just it's a name out there. I think for our girls, I don't know if there's a rivalry sense. We play OBU this week. Usually the rivals are the ones with the teams that you're battling for, and that top position, that kind of stuff, and the things that I've worked with before. But I think right now, it's just it's that next game, and it's a conference game, and it matters, and it's at home, and we gotta continue to strive and get better day in and day out.
Both games last year with OBU were tight. They're struggling a little bit, again, with injuries, as several teams are. What challenges do they present to your squad?
Again, that's we talked about reference points from last year. That we won't use any last year whatsoever, and so all it is about, and it's one thing that the girls aren't. We won't talk about their record. At least we don't bring up schools' records and what they're at. Their girls are smart enough; they'll know. But there will be a touch point of talking about, you don't take anything for granted. It's about our standards and how we play, and it's not about what anyone else doesn't have, what they're doing at the, it's that, hey, we got to make sure that we're still, playing our brand of basketball. It doesn't matter if a team comes in undefeated or haven't won a game. It's the same mental preparation.
Coach, thanks for your time and best of luck against Oklahoma Baptist.
Awesome.
That's SNU head coach Trent May breaking down the Bison and his squad before this evening's contest. Emily, again, on paper, just given the struggles for the Bison and the way SNU is playing right now, you'd think it should be a game where SNU might be able to assert themselves a little bit, maybe flex a little bit of muscle. How do you maintain the composure to not overlook the opponent here tonight?
I think by just playing their game and just kind of keeping focus and not letting the score from the past couple games get to their head. I mean, they can't get too cocky here. They just need to play their game how they've been playing, and once they do that, I mean, the score will tell. I mean, they'll probably dominate.
Looking at the standings for coming into tonight's game, Southeastern again alone at the top in the women's side. SNU and Southwestern a game behind at 6 and 2, and then Arkansas, Monticello, Henderson State, and Arkansas Tech at 5 and 3. Across the conference this evening, Henderson State hosts Ouachita Baptist, Arkansas Tech hosting Harding, Southeastern hosting East Central in what should be a fantastic game on the men's side. Southern Arkansas hosting Southwestern, Southwestern hosting Northwestern, and Southern Arkansas hosting Monticello over in Magnolia. So we'll take a quick timeout, and when we come back, we will have the starting lineups and the opening tip. SNU and Oklahoma Baptist coming your way here in just a little bit. This is SNU Basketball presented by SNU Athletics and Crossover Radio Sports. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. Starting lineups being introduced right now. We'll go through those with you right now. First for the visiting Bison of Oklahoma Baptist. First up, number 10, junior guard Jalen Stapleton from Meade, Kansas, averaging 10 points per game. Number 12, junior guard Carissa Price, Midwest City, Oklahoma native. Number 13, senior guard Michaela Schulenberger from Skytook, Oklahoma. Number 20, senior forward Mackenzie Cooper, averaging 15.3 points per game. She's a Shawnee, Oklahoma native. And last, number 22, junior guard Brianna Marshall, Plano, Texas native, averaging 8.4 points per game. For the Crimson Storm, number 2, sophomore guard J.C. Soap, averaging 12.9 points per game. She's 7th in the conference in three-point percentage at 42.5% per game. She's a Stillwell, Oklahoma native. Number 5, junior guard Alexis Jones, 11.5 points per game. She's from Burleson, Texas. In the middle, number 14, Abby Nehus, the junior forward from Mustang, Oklahoma, averaging 7.7 points per game, and she's number 1 in the conference in blocks at 32. And number 20, Sonia Sarda, sophomore guard from Spain, averaging 12.4 points per game and a conference-leading 5.6 assists per game. And last, number 22, junior guard Kennedy Gillette from Edmond, Oklahoma, averaging 9.7 points and 6 rebounds per game. She's 2nd in the conference in three-point percentage at 44.2%. And Emily, as we get the ball rolling here in Bethany, what are some things you're looking for out of the Crimson Storm here in the first quarter?
I mean, the biggest thing that I think they need to learn to dominate on is their free throws. I think if they learn to just sink their free throws and learn to make those, I think that'll definitely help them. But I'm just really excited to see these girls work together. I'm excited to see what they can do tonight, and I'm just excited for this game.
Abby Nehus and Brianna Marshall in the center circle, set to jump this one up. Good crowd on hand for the start of rivalry week here across the conference. Abby Nehus wins the tip, no problem, and we are underway here at the Sawyer Center. Thanks for joining us. Luke McConnell alongside Emily Jackson for this one. Should be a great evening of basketball here at the Sawyer Center. Sonia Sarda steps through across the lane, off the glass, too strong. And Stapleton quickly up ahead to Schulenberger. Now Stapleton on the right wing. Bison in black uniforms, OBU across the front. White numbers and white trim. SNU in their home white jerseys. Crimson trim, SNU across the front. Air ball 3 from Schulenberger over the rim. I mean, Nehus gets tangled up and goes down, but Alexis Jones has it. Soap, right wing, now gives it in the corner to Gillette. 18 on the shot clock as Sarda gets it behind the Nehus pick. Drives down the lane, spins. Floater in the lane is off to the left, no good. Rebound fought for, tipped out of bounds by Schulenberger, and it will be SNU basketball with a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Minute gone by. SNU 0 for 2 from the field. The officials do not reset the clock, say it did not hit the rim. Sarda baseline jumper is no good. Rebound controlled by Marshall. So Sarda comes out firing like she did on Saturday against Harding, and a travel right there by Carissa Price, who got caught between passes. A turnover for the Bison. It'll be SNU basketball. Sarda came out firing at a career-high 25 against the Bison, along with 7 assists. It's 10 of 18 from the field. She's 0 for 3 tonight and has taken all 3 of SNU's shots. SNU posts up Abby Nehus down low. She missed the short one, and OBU comes away with it. Small lineup on the court right now for the Bison. Tallest player out there is Carissa Price at 5'10". Not a lot of size on this Bison roster as a whole. Nobody listed at 6 foot. Marshall nearly has her pocket picked by Sarda. Now Price in the corner. Stripped by Soap. Fought for it, but it goes out of bounds off of Soap last. It'll be Bison basketball inbounding in the corner with 5 on the shot clock. Price has the pass deflected, and Nihus has the steal for SNU. Crimson Storm coming the other way. Gillette penetrates, kick out. Sarda wide open for 3. It's off the mark, no good. Rebound, Mackenzie Cooper. Brings it into the front court. Pivoting, swings it back out. Marshall steps inside the 3-point line for the long 2. It's off the back iron, no good. Schulenberger, the offensive rebound. Price, left wing, gets soaked to fly by, and she knocks down the 3-pointer to open the scoring here in Bethany. So a tough start for the Crimson Storm offensively, 0 for 5 from the field. And OBU leads 3-0. 7.5 minutes to go first quarter. So trying to answer from 3, no good. Nihus tried to tip the rebound out, but Price has the rebound for the Bison. Mackenzie Cooper finds herself wide open in front of the SNU bench, and she knocks down another 3. Bison quickly up.
Not a great start from the Crimson Storm right here.
Now an offensive foul is going to be whistled on Abby Nihus, battling for position inside. So her first team foul on the Crimson Storm. OBU leading 6-0, a pair of 3-pointers. As the Crimson Storm look to get the offense rolling here. 6:50 to go. It's Stapleton driving on Gillette. Steps across, unable to do so. Price drives baseline. Blocked by Gillette. Nihus has it. SNU coming back the other way. Lead pass up ahead for Jones. She goes in with the left hand and lays it in. And SNU on the board. Good finish through contact there by Alexis Jones. Bison up 6-2. Stapleton controlling between the circles. Sends Price across the baseline as she drifts over to the SNU bench. Schulenberger sets a screen for Price. Cut off. Schulenberger drives baseline. Shut off by Nihus nicely there. 4 on the shot clock. Price has got to hurry. Not sure if she's aware of it. Cooper got a head fake, and that's a shot clock violation on Oklahoma Baptist. Great defense there by SNU, as the Bison unaware of the shot clock situation. Andrea Petrorayaha into the game for the first time today, as Marshall will take a seat. Sarda kicks. Now Jones in the corner. Baseline drive shut down by Price, so she'll go to the top of the key. Fadeaway jumper from 10 is off the back iron, no good. Stapleton has the miss. SNU now 1 of 8 from the field. Price, a nice run to the basket, and a good feed from Schulenberger. And right out of the gate, it's 8-2 Bison, 5.5 minutes to go first quarter. Good entry pass from Sarda to Nihus. A nice run to the rim by Abby Nihus, and Sonia Sarda found her. Lead 8-4 now in favor of the Bison. Nearly 5 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Stapleton along 2, and she knocks it down. Officials talk about it and confirm it is a long 2. So OBU up 10-4, 5:03 to go in the first quarter. Sarda behind the Gillette pick. She pops out on the wing. She'll fire up a 3-pointer from there. Rattles in and out. No good. Price coming back the other way. Stapleton driving baseline. Bumped and fouled by Alexis Jones. And it's going to take us to our first timeout of the quarter. 4:41 to go. It's Oklahoma Baptist with an early lead over the Crimson Storm, leading 10-4. We'll be right back after this here on the SNU Radio and Video Networks. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. 4:41 to go first quarter. SNU trailing OBU 10-4. That last foul on Alexis Jones, her first. Second team foul. Pass for Cooper is deflected and intercepted by Soap. Jones now with it on the left wing. No substitutions either way out of the timeout. Soap will fire up a deep three from the right wing, and she knocked it down. J.C. Soap, number 2 in the conference in three-point makes. That's her 35th of the season. And her 25th in conference play. Gillette nearly shot the passing lane. Cooper has it. Double team. Now swings it outside. Stapleton with it on the left wing. Drives down the lane. Drops it off for Schulenberger, who leaves it over for Petra Ryata. And she lays it in for 2. Schulenberger very willing to send the extra pass along. And that's resulted in a couple baskets for the Bison early. Sarda drive, left the layup off the glass short. And here comes OBU. Sarda 0 for 5 to start this one. Stapleton. Traveled. Good defense by Alexis Jones staying in front of her. Miriam Garcia checking in for Abby Nehus. Alexis Jones will bring it up for the Crimson Storm, which trail 12-7. OBU 5 for 8 from the field to start this one. 5 turnovers preventing them from taking advantage of that. Garcia, nice spin move in the lane. And she lays it in for 2 with the little baby hook. SNU now just 4 of 13. Stapleton gets the floater in the lane to crawl across the rim. And Oklahoma Baptist getting whatever they want right now offensively. Sarda, left wing, goes behind the Garcia pick. Penetrates, leaves it off for Garcia. 10-foot jumper is off the iron, but rolls around and in. So Garcia quickly off the bench with 2 early baskets. Cooper leaves it back for Schulenberger. Now gets it back. Traveled, no call. Gets inside. Too strong with that one. Garcia controls the miss. 14-11 our score. Oklahoma Baptist. 2:20 to go. Soap from the corner for 3. It's off the iron long. Alexis Jones has the offensive rebound. Goes back up. Missed the shot. Might have been blocked from behind. And OBU will slow it down with 2:05 to go in the first quarter. Has not been a very pretty quarter offensively for SNU. 5 of 16 from the field. OBU 6 of 10 from the field, but has 5 turnovers. Cooper too short on the layup attempt over Garcia. Gillette gets the rebound, but is fouled over the back by Petra Ryata. Sonia Sarda checking out. Irene Perez in. Julia Schwacke in for Kennedy Gillette. Price will check out. And Rayleigh Farquhar into the game for the Bison. 1:50 to play. SNU trailing by 3. They've trailed the entire way thus far. Garcia holding top of the key. Hands it off to Jones. Working against Stapleton. Entry pass down low to Garcia. Garcia triple team. Pivots. Shovels it over to a wide open Irene Perez for the easy layup. Good vision by Garcia in the midst of the double team. And SNU trails by 1. 1:20 to go first quarter. Stapleton up top. Sends Farquhar away. She drifts in front of the SNU bench. Tries to drive baseline. Shut off there. Petra Ryata from the extended elbow. Nothing but the bottom of the net. She's got 4 points off the bench early. And the Bison lead by 3 again. Under a minute to go now, first quarter. 16-13 our score. Soap guarded by Schulenberger. Trying to drive. Leaves it off for Jones. Spins away. Garcia at the foul line. Spinning, pivoting, step through. Oh, too strong with the layup. Schwacke has it. From the free throw line, Garcia is short on that one. And OBU can hold for the last shot of the quarter. 20 on the game clock right now as Stapleton dribbles it out. 16-13, Bison with the lead. They're 7 of 12 from the field, but have 6 turnovers. SNU just 6 of 17 from the field. Stapleton tries to drive, gets around Jones, unable to get it home, and the three-quarter court heave from Jones comes up short, and that's how the first quarter comes to an end here at the Sawyer Center. SNU just 6 of 18 from the field as they trail after one, 16-13. We'll be back with the start of the second quarter right after this here on Crossover Radio Sports and the SNU Video Network.
That's not the start we expect.
Start of the second quarter here at the Sawyer Center in Bethany. SNU trailing Oklahoma Baptist 16-13, and Emily, not a great quarter for SNU offensively there.
No, definitely not. It's not what we expected, but hopefully they'll get their head in the game and they'll learn to trust each other, and we'll see some different results here in this next quarter.
Brianna Marshall back in for Schulenberger. Entry pass for Cooper is knocked away by Perez and stolen by Jones. Here come the Crimson Storm. Leaves it for Schwacke on the left wing. She penetrates. Bounce pass to Garcia. Working across the lane. Over to Schwacke. Wide open in the corner is JC Soap. And you know what that means. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Soap. And we're tied at 16.
That was such an easy three for Soap right there. They left her wide open, and she just sank it.
Stapleton checks out. Price back in. Schulenberger quickly back off the bench for OBU, as Petrariata will take a seat. So all knotted up at 16. And SNU has not led thus far. It's been all Oklahoma Baptist from the offensive end. Price behind the Schulenberger pick. She'll fire up another three-pointer. It's long. Garcia with a good box out. Gives it up to Jones. Here come the Storm. Quickly into the front court is Jones. All the way to the basket, stops. Kick back out Schwacke. She'll fire up a three-pointer from the right wing. That's good! Julia Schwacke, 2 points each against Tech and Harding last week. Knocks down the three-pointer there, and SNU with their first lead of the game, 19-16. Price hounded up top by Jones. Now over to Marshall. Drives down the lane. Now sends it back out to Cooper. Denied by Schwacke there. Marshall checked by Perez. 5 on the shot clock. She'll fire up a three-pointer over Perez. It's off the back iron, no good. Schulenberger tipped the rebound, but Soap has it. SNU running again. Out to Schwacke. Back over to Jones. Swinging in. Perez stops in the lane. Floater short. Garcia offensive rebound. Reverse layup. Spins home.
That was a good play.
Miriam Garcia, 6 points. Off the bench. Then timeout OBU as SNU has rattled off a 10-2 run. 12-2 run over the last 5 minutes. We'll take timeout too. 8:10 to go second quarter. SNU on top, 21-16. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Bethany. SNU in the midst of a 12-2 run over the last 5 minutes of game action. And that has staked them to a 21-16 lead. Emily, it's been the bench thus far. 11 points off the bench for SNU, led by 6 from Mimi Garcia. Stapleton will bring it up back into the game. Starting lineup back on the court for OBU. Kennedy Gillette is back in for SNU. That entry pass to Marshall is tipped away by Schwacke, and it goes out off of Marshall, out of bounds. So SNU with the basketball. That's the 8th turnover for the Bison. Perez didn't like the angle to Garcia there, and SNU will swing it back around the perimeter. Sarda penetrating, has it knocked away from behind. It'll stay here with SNU with 14 on the shot clock. Garcia gets it back to Sarda. She's in the lane. Floater is long off the back iron, no good. Sarda now 0 for 6, and all of them have been short shots in the lane. You just got to get the feel there. Stapleton has it. Up top, Cooper, she'll fire away for 3, top of the key, and that's good. Second three-pointer for Mackenzie Cooper. And that puts her squarely in 9th place on the Oklahoma Baptist all-time scoring list. Backdoor cut by Gillette. Good find from Garcia. Good play by Schulenberger to knock it away. SNU recovers out to Schwacke for 3 off the back iron. No good. Perez high for the offensive rebound, and a foul is going to be called on Stapleton for undercutting Perez. So we'll keep it here. For 20, fresh 20 on the shot clock. Sarda inbounds on the corner for 3, no. And it goes out off of Garcia over to the Bison. So Sonia Sarda struggling early from the field. Now 0 for 7. And 2 of those being of the 3-point variety. Stapleton up top. As SNU leads by 2, 21-19, 6:40 to go here in the first half. Schulenberger has it. Now back up top to Stapleton. And 3 seconds on Marshall, trying to post up Julia Schwacke. And Schwacke will check out. Some good minutes for Julia Schwacke. Perez checks out as well. Addison Foster and Cassandra Awatt into the game for the Crimson Storm. Adi Nawari into the game for the first time for OBU as Marshall will take a seat. Foster, right wing, thought about the 3. Instead, she'll drive in, has it knocked away from behind, but SNU recovers. Garcia pivoting, right-hand hook shot is good. Garcia once again. 8 points here in the first half. And the Crimson Storm back up by 4. Nawari tries to go through Garcia, and Garcia got a lot of ball, but also got a lot of arm. That'll send Nawari to the line for free throws. 47% foul shooter is Audie Nawari, senior from Arlington, Texas, averaging 12 points per game. In and out on the first one, just 47.5% from the stripe this season. SNU leading 23-19. 6:05 to go here in the first half. And an air ball on the second from Nawari. That'll be SNU basketball coming back the other way as the students let Nawari hear about it. And a good crowd on hand for what should be a great doubleheader. OBU in a 2-3 zone here. Foster entry to Gillette. Has it ripped, but Sarda recovers. Sarda, top of the key for 3. That's good. And the lid finally off the basket for Sonia Sarda as she knocks down her first field goal of the game and extends the SNU lead to 7, 26-19. Schulenberger swings it over left wing to Price, working on the freshman Awatt. Price finds Schulenberger underneath, but the pass goes awry and out of bounds with 5:30 to go before halftime. It's now 10 turnovers on the Bison here in the first half, and that has offset a 50% field goal clip to start this one. Sarda has it poked away from behind by Price. Schulenberger lead pass up ahead to Price, and she lays it in for 2. OBU's gotten quite a few deflections that way with the reach around poke away. Just a second turnover for the Crimson Storm here in the first half. Gillette, extended elbow. Sarda in the corner now. Comes across the lane, dumps it down to Garcia. Left the shot short, and Nawari has it. Stapleton, lead pass to Schulenberger. 10-foot jumper's on the way. It's long. Garcia tracks down the rebound for SNU. 4:40 to go, second quarter. SNU leads by 5. Gillette at the elbow. Back out to Awatt. Now Gillette drifts into the corner, trying to get it into Garcia, unable to do so. Now Sarda, top of the key. Again, poked away from behind by Price, and they got her on the foul this time for a swipe on the arm. Alexis Jones and J.C. Soap back in for SNU as Gillette and Awatt will take a seat. 20 on the shot clock here for SNU, 4:25 to go on the game clock. Sarda to Jones. Lost the basketball. Loose on the deck. Schulenberger has it. Now Jones on top, grabbing for it, and a jump ball is called, and it will be SNU basketball. Good hustle by Alexis Jones. SNU basketball with 12 on the shot clock, as the football team gives our man Jason Gully a big hand for his excellent floor mopping skills there, getting the moisture up. Soap, right wing, now Jones with it. 5 on the shot clock. SNU's got to hurry. Sarda sees it. Does not get the shot off in time. Thought she was going to swing it over to Soap, but realized she didn't have enough time, and that hesitation cost her enough time to get the shot up anyway. The third turnover now for SNU as they lead by 5. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Price, shut off there by Soap, gets it back out to Stapleton. Goes away from the Nawari pick. Price thought about the deep 3. Got Sarda to jump. Now swings it over baseline to Nawari, who found herself open. Missed the layup, though. Gets the offensive board and missed it again. And Foster has it. Poked away from her by Nawari. It'll be SNU basketball. Wild sequence there. But SNU maintains possession, fortunately, with 3:28 to go before halftime. Jones finds Foster open on the baseline. Tried to swing it to start in the corner. Nice hands by Schulenberger with the steal. And OBU back the other way. Bison just one of their last 4 from the field. Both teams scoreless over the last 2+ minutes. Cooper trying to change that. Fires up a 3-pointer. It's no good. Sarda high for the carom. Long lead pass ahead to Garcia. Lost the basketball, but a foul is going to be called on Mackenzie Cooper as Garcia went down on the catch. Looked like Cooper was already in position, perhaps, but the foul goes on Cooper. 3rd team foul on the Bison here in the second quarter. Gillette back in for Foster. Soap right wing. Entry pass to Garcia. Triple team. Swings it out to Gillette in the corner. She'll drive baseline. 15-foot jumper is long, and Nawari high for the miss. Abby Nehu's back to the scorer's table, set to check in next dead ball. SNU shooting just 36.7%. 11 of 30 from the field thus far. Schulenberger. Bounce pass over to Stapleton up top. 7 on the shot clock. Stapleton behind the Nawari pick. Pulls up for 3. It's off the back iron. No good. Alexis Jones tips the rebound to herself. 2-on-1 break with Soap. Nice bounce pass to Soap. Leaves it over for Gillette. Off the glass. Too strong. Rebound fought for. Garcia has it. And a foul is going to be called. I believe they're going to get Carissa Price. Nope, they're going to get Schulenberger with that foul for hounding Garcia. Garcia will head to the bench. Abby Nehus back into the game with 2:04 to go before halftime. Jones inbounds to Sarda. Sarda penetrates. Floater is no good, but she's going to go to the line for 2 free throws after the foul. Going to be on Price. It's going to be her second foul and the 5th team foul on the Bison. So free throws the last 2 minutes for OBU. Marshall back in for Price as she'll sit the last few minutes with those 2 personal fouls. Sarda no good on the first free throw. Just 3 of 10 coming into today from the foul line. Low in percentage and in attempts. Second one is good as she splits the pair. 27-21 our score. 2 minutes exactly to go before halftime. Stapleton working it up against the hounding pressure of Alexis Jones. She'll control between the circles. Now she gets switched on to Mackenzie Cooper. Cooper will drive in. Wraparound pass to Nawari. Goes up, left it short. Offensive rebound, Nawari, and she's fouled. Foul's going to be on Abby Nehus. Nope, just kidding. It's on Kennedy Gillette. Second on the team, first on Gillette, and that'll send Nawari back to the line for 2 free throws, where she's 0 for 2 today. Missed the first one long. And one more coming. Nawari knocks down that one, so she's 1 of 4 from the line. Lead still 5 for SNU, 27-22. Jones tried to force the pass into Gillette, but Nawari, quick on her feet, stepped right in front of it. SNU's 5th turnover here in the first half. Their 4th here in the quarter. Nawari pivoting on Nehus, left that one short. Fight for the rebound. Battle for Nawari has it. And Soap deflects that out of bounds. It'll stay OBU basketball with 17 on the shot clock. 1:09 on the game clock. Cooper inbounding down in the corner. Sends it up top to Stapleton. Stapleton goes away from the Nawari pick. Short jumper is no good. Sarda has the miss. Sarda scans the floor. Nobody stops her. Goes in and knocks down the free throw line jumper. Sonia Sarda with her 2nd field goal of the game. She's got 6. And SNU pushes the lead back to 7. Which ties their biggest lead of the first half. Schulenberger left wing. Puts it up top to Marshall. She goes away from the Nawari pick all the way to the bucket. And a foul going to be coming up on J.C. Soap. There'll be 2 free throws here for Brianna Marshall, who's just 2 for 5 at the line this season. Had 11 points and 5 rebounds in the loss to Tech on Saturday, knocking down 3 of 6 3-pointers. Went through some injuries early in the year, but played the last 5 games. Scored 21 points in the loss at Ouachita Baptist 2 weeks ago. She splits the pair of free throws. The lead is 6 for SNU. They can hold for the final shot of the half. Soap at the elbow, gets it back out to Jones, and she'll back it out. 18 on the game clock, 15 on the shot clock now. About a 2-second differential. Sarda going to work with 8. Floater in the lane. That one's good, and Sarda starting to find the distance in the middle of the lane. Cooper with 2, with 1. Fires up the 35-footer. It goes awry, and that's the end of the first half as SNU takes their largest lead of the half into the locker room. Your score after 2 quarters here in Bethany, it's SNU 31, Oklahoma Baptist 23. We'll be back right after this here on the SNU Radio and Video Networks. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. Luke McConnell here alongside Emily Jackson. It's halftime here in Bethany as SNU leads 31-23. We just saw a rough display of free throw shooting on behalf of the football guys. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Hopefully that his accuracy is not needed on the football field because he lacked it. Lacked it completely. But anyway, SNU also lacked accuracy there in that first quarter. 31% shooting in that first quarter, but they turned around, turned the defense up, Emily, in that second quarter. OBU just 16.7% from the field, 2 of 12.
Yes, it was definitely a difference. You could definitely tell the difference between the first quarter and the second quarter, and you could tell that the girls got more comfortable within that second quarter, and they started trusting each other, and they started putting up shots and started making it. And it was a great change to see from that first quarter.
SNU 39% from the field overall. They're 4 of 10 from three-point range. Getting out rebounded 18-16, but have a 5-4 edge in offensive rebounds. 3 points off those 5 rebounds for SNU, 4 off of OBU's 4 for the Bison. SNU 8 assists on their 13 made baskets in that first half as well. Individually for the Crimson Storm, Sonia Sarda and Miriam Garcia each with 8 points. Garcia also with 5 rebounds off the bench. Sarda 3 assists and 3 rebounds as well. JC Soap 6 points and 2 steals. Abby Nehu's 2 points. Kennedy Gillette did not score in the first half. Alexis Jones 2 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Julia Schwacke 3 points. And Irene Perez 2 points off the bench for the Crimson Storm, which got 13 points from their bench in that first half, something that Coach Trent May has been looking for consistently this season. SNU leading in the paint 16-8, and points off turnovers 12-2. OBU 10 turnovers in that first half. SNU with 5, 4 of those coming in the second quarter. 2 fast break points apiece for the Crimson Storm and the Bison. Krista Price leading the way for the Bison with 7 points on 3 of 5 shooting. She also had 2 fouls in that first half and had to sit the last 2 minutes. OBU 36% from the field. 3 of 8 from three-point range and 2 of 6 from the foul line. 7 assists on their 9 made baskets. 4 of those coming from Michaela Schulenberger. She also had a steal but was scoreless. Jalen Stapleton 4 points. Mackenzie Cooper 6 points, moving into 9th all-time scoring for the Bison. A point each for Audie Nuari and for Brianna Marshall, and 4 points for Andrea Petroraieta off the bench for OBU. Second half of our doubleheader tonight coming up right after the conclusion of the women's game, and it should be an absolute doozy of a game as the Bison and SNU men will tangle here at the Sawyer Center. We'll go ahead and hear from head coach Adam Bohach and get you set for that matchup right now. Here at halftime, it's SNU 31 and Oklahoma Baptist 23.
And we're joined now by SNU head coach Adam Bohach discussing this evening's game against Oklahoma Baptist. And Coach, how nice was it last weekend with those 2 wins to see your team not just bounce back with wins, but do so with playing very well on both ends of the court?
Yeah, I thought that was good. It was good to be at home and good to be back in class. We had great crowds and great energy in the building with the students back, and so all that together made for a good week.
Jonathan is just 8 points away from hitting the 2,000 career point mark. Obviously, accomplishments aren't the focus for him, but how cool is it for him to be the first GAC player to do that?
Yeah, it's just another milestone for him and Mark's just a great career, and we've talked a lot about it, Luke, but his durability and his toughness and his good fortune too to not be hurt, but he's been dinged up a bunch over 4 years and continues to do it night in and night out.
OBU and SMU have developed a nice little rivalry over the past few years. What does that add to the programs, fan interest, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, the boosters and the supporters and alums from OBU and SNU both, I mean, that goes well before, the Great American Conference or Micah or Jonathan or me that's historic stuff. Those games have been hotly contested for a long time, that's part of what makes college athletics fun is those kind of games. And so the students look forward to it, the players do, and the fans do.
How much do you enjoy it, just getting to coach in those types of games?
Yeah, it's always fun, Luke. It's fun because the guys are fired up and ready to go, and again, it means so much to so many different people that it's fun to play in those types of games.
With this week, big games against Oklahoma Baptist and East Central on Saturday, is it a learned thing to focus on one game at a time in a week like this where you've got two big games and a quick turnaround for that second one?
Yeah, I mean, kind of our way of doing it, we don't ever talk about the next game, no matter who it is, or, so no matter who we have on Saturday, we never talk about Saturday until, the first time we mention it is Friday at practice. And so, I don't know how you can prepare for more than one at a time. It takes everything to be well prepared for the next one, and that's certainly our focus this week, just like it is every week.
There's a lot of new faces for OBU, but also big improvements from the returnees. What's the biggest difference for the Bison this year compared to last year?
Yeah, that's a great question. They're all more experienced this year, second year in the system. And I think, they closed so strong last year, Luke. I mean, at the end of the year, they're as good as anybody and had so many close non-conference losses early in the year last year, and those have all turned into wins. And so, their team's better this year, their records, markedly better. But I think everybody in the league saw this coming, starting in January and February last year, just the way they closed the season.
What challenges do they present for your guys?
Yeah, they're super good offensively, Luke. Great schemes, good players, really well balanced, can beat you inside with a couple big, strong postmen, have really good depth at all the spots, but particularly inside, and then have a couple guys who can really, really shoot the ball on the perimeter, and then a jet at the point guard spot who can pick you up and defend you and disrupt you that way, and also run his team on offense, and so you put all that together, and they kind of have all the pieces for a good team.
Coach, thank you very much for your time, and best of luck against the Bison.
That's SNU head coach Adam Bohach getting you all set for Oklahoma Baptist and SNU, the men's game coming up right after this here at the Sawyer Center. About 2.5 minutes to go before the start of the second half here in Bethany. And Emily, like we talked about earlier, big rally for SNU in that second quarter, getting outscoring the Bison 18-7 to eliminate a 3-point first quarter lead for the Bison. Last year, it was two close contests between these two teams, as SNU with just a 4-point win here in Bethany and needed double overtime to win out in Shawnee. Still, it may be a little bit of a mismatch on paper, but it's still a rivalry game and still a lot of good players on the other side for the Bison.
Yes, I can definitely see that from here. They are definitely not afraid to shoot the ball, and they're definitely not afraid to get their hands dirty when it comes to fouls.
Yeah, the Bison with quite a few deflections there in that first half that turned into turnovers for SNU, or at least at the very least disrupted the Crimson Storm offense. And as we get closer and closer to the start of the second half, Emily, what would you like to see from the Crimson Storm going forward?
I would love to see them just, focus more and just trust each other and let the shots just flow into the basket instead of just being kind of chaotic. And they think they just need to, keep it going and just keep the passes and just wait for that open shot rather than trying to make that open shot.
Checking up on scores around the conference for you here on the women's side. Halftime in Arkadelphia, Henderson State leading Ouachita Baptist 32-17. Down the road in Russellville, it's 34-31. Arkansas Tech over Harding. Kelly Lampo is not playing in that game for Harding. You certainly hope her injury, have not heard an update on that, so you certainly hope that is not a long-term injury for Kelly Lampo, one of the best players in the conference. Down in Ada, don't have a score on Southeastern at this point, or Southern Arkansas, but out in Weatherford, it's Southwestern 34 and Northwestern 33 at the break. So a lot of close games across the conference here on the first week of Rivalry Week. We'll definitely keep you posted on all of those as the evening goes along. But here again, our score as we start the third quarter, 31-23, SNU with the lead. Team Spain with 8 points apiece, as Sonia Sarda and Mimi Garcia each with 8 points for the Crimson Storm. Starting lineups back on the court for both teams to start the third quarter. It'll be OBU basketball moving right to left. Stapleton will try a three-pointer from the top of the key, left it short. Marshall inside gets the offensive rebound and sends it back up top to Cooper. So fresh 20 on the clock for the Bison right out of the gate. Stapleton to the left wing. 5 on the shot clock. Goes away from the Marshall pick. Shut off baseline. Kicks it up top. Cooper with 2, with 1. Floater is no good at the shot clock buzzer. And Gillette tips the rebound away from Cooper, and SNU running early. Jones wide open start on the left wing. Marshall with a nice closeout. Gillette gets it to the cutting Soap. Now Sarda, free throw line jumper. It's good. And Sonia Sarda, the first player in double figures this evening with 10. She's now 4 of 11. She started 0 for 8. Excuse me, 0 for 7. As I realized 0 for 8 and 4 of 11 was not mathematically possible. Cooper spinning on Gillette. Wild shot in the lane. She'll go to the line for 2. Foul is going to go on Gillette. That's her second. First team foul on the Crimson Storm here in the quarter. Cooper, 75.5%. Knocks down the first free throw, and one more coming for Cooper. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. SNU back up by 8, 33-25. Entry pass to Nihus. Got free and lays it in. Good look from Sarda, and good recovery by Nihus as she fumbled it a little bit initially. Stapleton quickly to the right wing in front of the OBU bench, controlling against Jones. Price thought about the three over Soap. Instead, she'll take her down low all the way to the basket. Blocked by Soap, and she quickly gets it over to Jones. Into the front court. Does not have numbers. Moves away from Cooper. Now Sarda trying to get the angle on Nihus instead. Shot off baseline. Finds Jones, who's wide open. Missed the layup. Had a surprised look on her face like it slipped out of her hand or something. Either way, a blown opportunity for SNU. 2 minutes gone by. SNU leads by 10, 35-25. Stapleton inside. Had it ripped away by Jones. Recovers and scores and is fouled by Sonia Sarda. And that'll send Jalen Stapleton to the line for 1. Marshall checks out. Petra Ryata into the game for the Bison. She had 4 points in the first half. Stapleton completes the three-point play, and it's 35-28 SNU. 2 minutes gone by, third quarter. Gillette, now Sarda. Sarda with the crossover dribble, has that ripped away by Carissa Price. Schulenberger, one-on-one with Gillette, missed the layup. Soap tips the rebound, tries to save it, but it goes out of bounds off of Soap. It'll be OBU basketball. $19 on the shot clock here. Carissa Price has had her hands in the passing lanes all night long for the Bison. Cooper spinning in the lane. Petraita has that sent back by Abby Nihus. Long lead pass from Jones up to Gillette. Finger roll is off the back iron, no good. Collision down low going for the offensive rebound. That foul is going to go on J.C. Soap going over the back. SNU a little out of sorts tonight, just unable to really find a consistent rhythm. And credit OBU, a lot better than their 4-10 record and 0-8 conference record would indicate for sure. Price, left wing, trying to get the angle to Cooper. Now sends it to Stapleton. She'll step back behind the Cooper pick for three. Missed it. Sarda has it ripped away by Schulenberger, but a foul is going to go against Michaela Schulenberger. It's going to be her second. First team foul on the Bison here in the quarter. 3 minutes gone by. SNU still leading by 7. The margin at halftime was 8. OBU 1 of 7 in the quarter. They're 3 of their last 19 from the field. Gillette cut away as Jones was sending the pass to the corner. And a turnover for SNU, their 7th of the night. Into the game for the first time, Kinsey Niederer has not played since December 7th at East Central. He's dealing with an Achilles injury. Cooper has trouble getting it in and has to call timeout to save the possession. We'll take timeout too, 6:44 to go third quarter. It's 35-28. SNU leading. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading Oklahoma Baptist 35-28, 6:44 to go third quarter. Emily, the Crimson Storm continue to struggle getting into any sort of rhythm offensively. They're 2 of 4 here in the quarter, but a couple of turnovers have prevented them from getting any sort of rhythm.
Yeah, that's what I can tell from here. They just need to calm down, just trust that they got their game, and just keep trusting each other.
Cooper controlling in the backcourt against Gillette. She'll work it across the timeline here. Goes away, leaves it off for Petrarieta, and an offensive foul. Petrarieta, as Alexis Jones stepped across and drew that charge. Nice defensive play by the junior. Irene Perez checks in for Kennedy Gillette with 6:30 to go in the third quarter. Jones works it across. She's checked by Cooper, top of the key. It's like a 2-3 zone here for the Bison. Sarda penetrates, tries to dump it over to Nihus, has it poked away by Niederer. And Sarda recovers and scores. Put the SNU back up by 9.
That was a good recovery by Sarda, not allowing the OBU to make that a turnover.
Cooper behind the Niederer pick. SNU passes that off to Soap. Shut off nicely. Petrarieta in the middle of the lane, knocks down the short jumper. It's her 6th point of the night. Came in averaging 5 points and 3 rebounds a night. So a nice night for her thus far. Pass from Nihu somehow got along the far baseline to Sarda. JC Soap wide open left wing for 3, and she knocks it down. Somehow JC Soap has found herself wide open for a couple of threes tonight. She's now 3 for 5. And that inbounds pass is wide of Mackenzie Cooper, and a turnover for the Bison. So SNU with a 10-point lead now at 40-30 and looking to build on that here. Officials discussing something. Not sure what they are discussing here. Not really sure why they took a second off the shot clock. But either way, SNU basketball looking to extend a 10-point lead. Their biggest of the evening. Skip pass to Perez. Entry pass to Garcia is deflected and stolen. Petraieta again having a nice night for the Bison, and Price is bumped and fouled by Jones. That'll be her second foul, and that'll take us to timeout on the court. 4:58 to go, third quarter. It's 40-30. SNU with the lead, OBU with the basketball when we come back after this here on the SNU radio and video networks. Welcome back to the Sawyer Center. SNU leading 40-30. Oklahoma Baptist with the basketball. Bison just 2 of 8 from the field here in the third quarter. SNU 4 of 6. And they have knocked down a three-pointer. OBU 3 for 3 from the foul line here in the third quarter. Brianna Marshall back into the game for Michaela Schulenberger. SNU leaves the same 5 out there that we entered the timeout with. Perez, Sarda, Garcia, Jones, and Soap. Niederer behind the Petraieta pick, pulls up for 3. It's blocked by Perez, and Jones has it. 4-on-3 break for the Storm. Kick out. Sarda wide open left wing for 3. Yes! Sonia Sarda, her second three-pointer of the evening, and SNU goes up 13 at 43-30. Great look for Jones. Great job penetrating. Price down the lane, blocked by Garcia. Jones has it. Long lead pass ahead for Perez. Goes in and lays it off the glass, no good. But she'll go to the line for 2 as she was fouled by Marshall. Schulenberger checks back in for Marshall. Or excuse me, for Price, rather. First foul on Marshall, third team foul on the Bison. And Perez to the line for 2 free throws. 55.6% from the foul line this season. Knocks down the first one, no problem. One more coming. Second one from the senior is good, and SNU extends the lead to 15. Inbounds pass deflected, nearly stolen by SNU, but OBU will maintain possession. Stapleton checking back in for Marshall this time. It's an 8-0 run over the last minute and a half for the Crimson Storm. Lead pass to Stapleton, 1-on-2 break. Schulenberger has it blocked from behind by Sarda. What a recovery. She was by herself. Sarda to Soap in the corner for 3. Yes! JC Soap with her 4th 3 of the night, and SNU starting to pour it on a little bit here. Now up by 18 at 48-30. Stapleton's pass deflected. OBU recovers. She holds with 15 on the shot clock. Kick corner Schulenberger. Now back up top Niederer. Top of the key. She'll fire away from 3. It's short. Perez has the miss as Garcia hits the deck. Perez at the foul line, gets the defense to fly by, steps inside and knocks down the short jump shot. Great control there from Irene Perez. Timeout, Bison. As SNU just opening up the lead right now. They lead by 20 all of a sudden with 3:25 to go in the third quarter. We'll take timeout too. 3:25 to go. It's 50-30. SNU with the lead. We'll be right back after this. Back to action here in Bethany. It's a 15-3 run for the Crimson Storm, and they've opened up a 50-30 lead over Oklahoma Baptist. Luke McConnell alongside Emily Jackson with you here at the Sawyer Center. Game 3 of a 4-game homestand for the Crimson Storm. Madison Chambers into the game for the first time for the Bison, the freshman from Muldrow, Oklahoma. Averaging just a point and a half and a rebound and a half per game this season. Stapleton hits the deck hard. It looked like Jones pulled the chair out from under. Lead pass for Soap is deflected by Schulenberger and goes out of bounds. Looks like Stapleton's okay. Sounded worse than it actually was. For a minute there, I thought she hit her head on the floor, but it seems to be just her arm. Garcia, pivoting, steps through. Has it knocked out of her hands by Petra Ryata, who has been a monster inside for OBU this evening. The redshirt sophomore from Vilnius, Lithuania. She'll take a seat. And Audie Nawari into the game. Nawari was a beast in the first half on the boards, 5 rebounds. Soap in the corner, entry pass to Jones. Finds herself open. Nawari comes over and rejects the shot. Jones gets it back, puts it up high off the glass. It's no good, but she'll go to the line for 2 free throws. Emily, SNU has really seized control over the last 5 minutes of game action. The 15-3 run has built the lead up to 20.
Most definitely. They've definitely found their rhythm in this second half, and they're confident, and they know they've got it.
Jones knocks down the first free throw, 1 more coming. Second straight quarter, OBU is 2 for 12 from the field. Jones knocks down both free throws. She's got 4. The lead now 22. SNU 3 for 3 from deep here in the quarter. And all of them wide open looks. They're 7 of 13 for the game from 3-point range and have hit 6 of their last 8. Stapleton finds Cooper between the circles. 8 on the shot clock. She drives by Perez. Bumped and fouled by Perez from behind. And Cooper will go to the line for 2 free throws. Perez got beat off the dribble and tried to recover, but Cooper stopping and popping from that second block will get her to the line for free throws. JC Soap checking out for Julia Schwacke, who's into the game for the first time here in the second half. 2:17 to go, third quarter. SNU leading by 22, 52-30. Cooper's first free throw is long off the back iron. 1 more coming for the graduate senior. She's been at OBU for 6 years now. Even played for OBU back when they were still in NAIA. So she has seen the full-scale transition for this Bison program. Garcia on the baseline, bumped by Chambers, and threw it away to Cooper. Cooper working on Perez behind the back dribble. Kicks it out to Stapleton. Good recovery by SNU. Stapleton will be forced to reset up top. Stapleton on the NCAA logo against Jones. 7 on the shot clock. Goes behind the Nawari pick. Stops. Hands to Schulenberger, who gives to Nawari. 20-foot jumper is off the iron, no good, and Jones has the miss. Her 6th rebound of the game. Jones averaging 8.4 a game. It's 3rd in the conference. Sarda dumps to Garcia at the elbow. Tried to lead Perez, but a little bit too much there. Turnover for the Crimson Storm, their 9th of the game. Jones will check out, Addison Foster back in. Trent May telling Garcia that pass just not there. SNU still leads by 21. 1:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Stapleton has it poked away by Sarda, but she recovers. Finds Schulenberger on the right wing, but it goes right through her legs. She recovers. Chambers at the foul line, pivoting, back out. Schulenberger, she'll try a three-pointer from in front of the OBU bench and knocks it down. First points of the game for Michaela Schulenberger, averaging 6.8 per game this season. Just a 26% three-point shooter. She knocked that one down, no problem. Sarda all the way to the bucket. Fouled from behind. We're going to get Mackenzie Cooper with that one. That'll send Sarda back to the line for 2 free throws. She's 1 for 2 tonight. 15 points for Sarda. To go along with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Knocks down the first free throw. Long on the second one, and Schulenberger has it. Quickly up into the front court for the Bison. Five-second difference, game to shot clock, as we're at 20 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Chambers checked by Perez. Perez deflects that pass. Cooper has it. Shovels it over to Nawari. Kick out. Schulenberger repost. Nawari spins. Left it short. Perez has the miss. Lead pass up ahead. Deflected out of bounds by Schulenberger. And looking for Schwacke on the run out, but pass just a little bit behind her. So 3 seconds on the clock. Sarda. Kick to Foster. She'll fire up a three-pointer at the buzzer, and it's no good. And that's how the 3rd quarter comes to an end. SNU outscores OBU 20-11 in that 3rd quarter and hold the Bison to 3 of 15 shooting. Crimson Storm with a 19-point lead as we head to the final stanza here in Bethany. This is SNU basketball. Fourth quarter time here in Bethany. SNU basketball as we get back to action. Crimson Storm leading 53-34. They really seized control in that 3rd quarter. 7 of 11 from the field, knocked down all 3 of their 3-point attempts. Also went 5 of 6 from the foul line en route to a 22-point quarter. Pass deflected, stolen by Stapleton. Long lead pass for Schulenberger. One-on-one with Sarda. She's bumped and fouled. And that will send Michaela Schulenberger to the line for 2 free throws. Carissa Price checking back in for Madison Chambers. And Sarda will take a seat. And Alexis Jones back in. Schulenberger off the mark with that first free throw. 3 of 13 from the foul line this season. Splits the pair. And the SNU lead 18 at 53-35. 30 seconds gone by here in the final stanza at the Sawyer Center. Game 1 of our 2-game doubleheader. The men will follow in what should be a fantastic matchup. Jones pass too long for Garcia, but just right for Schwacke. Pivots, finds Garcia, puts it on the deck, drives to the basket. She's hacked and fouled by Nawari. And that'll send the tall Spaniard to the line for 2 free throws. Garcia just 4 of 8 from the line this season. Knocks down the first one, no problem. Garcia now with 9 points off the bench to go along with 6 rebounds, an assist, and a block. Splits the pair right on average. And the SNU lead 19. Stapleton, now Nawari up top, fires it down low for Cooper, and Perez got her hands in the passing lane again. Perez very active defensively tonight. Long lead pass to Schwacke, baseline. Oh, nice bounce pass to Perez, and she lays it in. Beautiful look from Julia Schwacke. And Perez with 8 points off the bench. Garcia and Perez really turning up the action tonight. Off the bench for SNU. Schulenberger dumps it down low to Cooper. Perez going through her back, commits the foul. Second team foul on SNU, second on Irene Perez. You gotta love the aggression there from Irene Perez, something Coach Strip May has been trying to get out of her really since he got here last year. Inbounds comes to Schulenberger. Now Stapleton will control between the circles. Now Price, checked by Schwacke. She'll drive on Schwacke, dumps it off for Nawari, who lays it in for 2. Help side defense came from Garcia, and Nawari was able to sneak behind it and lay it in. Jones in the corner, trying to post up Garcia, goes away from it. Now Perez swings it over left wing to Foster. Baseline to Schwacke, back to Foster. 7 on the shot clock. Perez drives on Stapleton, gets around her, shovels it over to Garcia. Missed the shot long. Good look there from Perez. Stapleton all the way to the bucket, dumps it off to Nawari amongst the trees, and she lays it in. Good look from Nawari. And SNU's lead at 17, 56-39. Foster on the baseline. Too strong for Garcia. Perez is there, missed it, gets her own miss, puts it back up short, and Nawari clears. SNU has gotten quite a few good looks at the basket tonight, just unable to get as many to fall as they would like. Cooper with Perez on her back, puts it in, and is fouled by Irene Perez. That's going to be the 3rd team foul and the 3rd on Perez. Substitutions for SNU as Perez and Garcia check out. J.C. Soap and Abby Nihus back in. Cooper missed the free throw, unable to complete the 3-point play. Nihus tracks down the long board. And Jones will bring it up. Swinging around the perimeter here. OBU still in a 2-3 zone. Foster wide open left wing for 3. It's short. Nihus the offensive rebound. And a foul going on Carissa Price on the box out. It's going to be her 3rd, 2nd team foul, so a fresh 20 on the shot clock for SNU. Leading by 15, 56-41. Still 6:38 to go. SNU scoreless over the last 2.5 minutes, and one of their last 7 from the field, now one of their last 8. Schwacke tracks down the long rebound, though. Wide open in the corner. She'll fire up a 3. It's no good. Cooper has it knocked out of her hands by Soap, and it goes out of bounds to the Bison. Good hustle on the offensive glass for the Crimson Storm, but unable to turn that possession into points. So 6:15 to go. SNU leading by 15. They've led by as many as 22. It's a 6-0 run for the Bison over the last 2.5 minutes. And SNU's now one of their last 9 from the field. Cooper spinning, bumped by Schwacke, and she'll go to the line for 2. Cooper taking advantage of SNU down low. First on Schwacke, 4th team foul on the Crimson Storm. OBU, a solid free throw shooting team at 71.3% this season. Cooper knocks down the first. And one more coming. Cooper goes 2 for 2. The lead down to 13. It's an 8-0 run now for the Bison. Over the last 3 minutes, SNU has been scoreless over that stretch. Soap, now Jones, given a wide berth there. Entry pass to Soap, tried to get it across the triple team, unable to do so. Stapleton's out ahead of the pack, and she'll lay it in for 2. And here come the Bison. The lead down to 11. Casey Soap left wing. Now Jones on the baseline. Gives it to Soap. She'll drive in. 15-foot jump shot is no good. Rebound fought for, controlled by Katie Banks into the first time for the Bison. Stapleton up ahead. Nawari rejected by Nihus, and a jump ball is going to be called. In fact, it'll stay with Oklahoma Baptist. Sarda will check in for Foster, and Kennedy Gillette in for Julia Schwacke. So starting lineup back on the court for SNU. Just let OBU creep back into this. It's a 10-0 run for the Bison. Stapleton will fire up a 3-pointer. It's short, and Nihus with a good box out on Nawari for the rebound. 5 minutes to go. 56-45 our score. Gillette sends it down low to Jones. Dribbles away from the pressure. Gillette back from Soap. Missed the 3 badly there. And Stapleton running the other way for OBU. Cooper, she'll fire up a 3-pointer. It's good! And the lead to single digits, 56-48.
These girls just need to get their rhythm back. Just get back in sync with each other.
Jones, left wing, she'll fire a 3, barely grazes iron. Rebound fought for, Nawari has it. 4:15 to go. OBU has turned the tables on the Crimson Storm with their zone defense, and SNU unable to find any sort of offensive traction. The run is 13-0. SNU needing to clamp down and get a defensive stop here. OBU trying to get it inside to Cooper. She's triple teamed, battles through, but traveled. Timeout on the court. 3:54 to go. 56-48 our score. Oklahoma Baptist has battled back from a 22-point deficit. We'll see if they're able to complete the comeback or if SNU can keep them at bay when we come back right after this here on the SNU Radio and Video Networks. Welcome back. SNU clinging to an 8-point lead, 56-48. It's a 13-0 run for the Bison over the last 5 minutes. And SNU needing a bucket to stymie the Tide here. Bison still in that 2-3 zone. Very flexible 2-3 zone. They get it down low to Nihus. Now in the corner. Now back up top. JC Soap for 3. That's the money shot. 5th three-pointer for JC Soap. Timeout, Trent May.
You should know by now, if you leave JC open, she's going to take that shot and she's going to make it.
30-second timeout for SNU. We'll keep it here. And Emily, JC Soap is doing great things from three-point range. That's now 5 of 7 from deep tonight.
Most definitely.
So the Crimson Storm snap the 13-0 run. That's just their second made field goal of the quarter. And their first make in 5 attempts from 3. A huge sigh of relief to see something go through the basket.
Maybe this will help get their rhythm back.
SNU extending some full court pressure here as Price gets it into Stapleton. Price quickly gets it back and crosses the timeline, no problem. Now Cooper between the circles. Stapleton moves to the left side of the court, looking for that angle to Nawari. Nabby Nihus deflects the pass away. Alexis Jones, 3-on-2 break. Gillette tried to get it to Nihus, unable to do so. Soap wide open, now gives it to Gillette, who steps inside the arc, but traveled in the process. Jones didn't see Soap quite early enough, or else that was going to be another wide open three-point attempt. Price gets it into Stapleton, and she will run it up across the timeline. 3 minutes to go. SNU leads by 11, 59-48. They've led by as many as 22 tonight. Cooper, top of the key, checked by Gillette. Now gives it on the right wing to Price. Entry pass to Nawari. Pivots, spins, long on the shot. Good defense there by Nihus and good help from Gillette. SNU back the other way. Oh, nice crossover by Sonia Sarda with the floater, and she puts it in. Beautiful crossover to get some space. And Sonia Sarda up to 18 points to go along with 5 rebounds and 5 assists. And SNU back up by 13 with 2:20 to go. Head coach Casey Bays telling Stapleton to move it. And a foul coming up on SNU is going to send Mackenzie Cooper to the line. Gillette trying to contend with Cooper there. Commits her 3rd foul, 15 fouls, so 2 foul shots here for Cooper, who's got 16 points tonight. He's 3 of 4 from three-point range and is here for free throw attempts 8 and 9. Knocks down the first, one more coming. Schulenberger is back in for Nawari. Missed the second free throw. So the lead is 12, 61-49. Sarda fires it down low to Nihus. Great catch and finish by Abby Nihus. And a beautiful find there by Sonia Sarda. Stapleton fouled going to the basket by Sonia Sarda as she got free cutting down the lane. OBU has really pushed the tempo, getting the ball up court quickly and trying to take advantage of easy buckets in transition. For the most part, SNU's done a nice job tonight. It's 9-8 in fast break points in favor of the Crimson Storm. Nawari back in. Stapleton is short on the first free throw. Came in number 1 in the conference at 90% from the foul line and 96% in conference play. So a very rare miss for Stapleton. She almost missed the second one, but got it to go home off the backboard after it hit the front of the iron. So 13-point lead, 1:50 to go. 63-50. SNU having stabilized things a little bit after a 13-0 Bison run. Soap, right wing, guarded by Schulenberger, tries to dump it down low to Nihus. Nawari with a very nice move to get around Nihus to deflect it out of bounds. 9 on the shot clock as Soap will inbound in the corner for SNU. Five on the shot clock. Sarda gets inside, pass Stapleton, shovels it over to Nihus, and she lays it in. Beautiful control by Sarda as she left Stapleton on the floor out top. As the shot clock was winding down, had the presence of mind to shovel it over to Nihus for an easy layup. Cooper has it ripped away by Nihus. That's a jump ball, and it's going to be SNU basketball with 1:10 to play. Tremendous on both ends there by SNU. Stapleton shot the passing lane, but stepped on the inline sideline, trying to save it. SNU will maintain possession with 25 on the shot clock, 105 on the game clock, and a 65-50 lead for the Crimson Storm. Jones in the corner, guarded by Price. 8 on the shot clock now. Soap goes around Schulenberger all the way to the bucket. Left-hand layup's too strong, but Price tips that out of bounds, and it will be SNU basketball with 42.9 seconds to play. So pretty much all over, but the shouting here as SNU has run off a 9-2 run in response to that 13-0 run. And Emily, big response from SNU down the stretch here.
Yes, it has been, and it's good to see that they're getting back on rhythm.
Sarda left the floater on the rim wanting. Stapleton pulls and pops, left it short, and Sarda has her 6th rebound of the game. And she'll walk it up and hold between the circles here. 3-second difference game to shot clock. And she'll pound a hole in the floor with the dribble. SNU going to move to 10-3 overall, 7-2 in conference play. The official says Sarda has a little bit of blood, I'm assuming, or something. Yep. Must have been a little bit of blood or something, but Nefer-Leon into the game for Sarda for these last 10 seconds. So SNU hosting East Central on Saturday, who they defeated 67-60 down in Ada earlier this year, back on November 23rd. And a big opportunity for SNU to go 4-0 on the homestand and move to 8-2 in conference play. Cooper has it. Bounce up to Schulenberger. And that's how this one ends. SNU with a big second and third quarter holds off OBU in the fourth to win 65-50 over the Bison here on rivalry night. And Emily, again, great performance by the Crimson Storm overall. Got a little hairy there in that fourth quarter, but they were able to take care of business down the stretch.
Yes, it was great to see them win. I mean, I always love to see them beat OBU. It was looking kind of rough there in the first quarter and then in the fourth quarter, but, they got back on track and they trusted each other and they got their rhythm. And, I mean, it's just great to see them just trust each other and just shoot those shots and learn to make them. And, I mean, this has to be such a confidence boost to win so many home games in a row. I mean, I just can't wait to see what they've got next.
SNU just 5 of 16 from the field in the fourth quarter. But finished the game 41.7% from the field. They went 8 of 18 from three-point range. JC Soap went 5 of 7 then herself. 7 of 10 from the foul line. As SNU, again, a 65-50 winner over the Bison of Oklahoma Baptist. SNU 9-7 advantage in offensive rebounds. 17 assists on 25 made baskets. Did a great job distributing the basketball tonight, and a lot of really good passes that went just off the mark tonight as well. And SNU getting 20 points from their bench tonight, led by Mimi Garcia's 9 points and 6 rebounds. Irene Perez with 8 points off the bench as well. Mackenzie Cooper, 17 points to lead the way for Oklahoma Baptist. 18 points for Sonia Sarda and 15 for JC Soap. And we will step aside real quick, and when we come back, we'll be joined by JC Soap and get her thoughts on this evening's game. Again, SNU a 65-50 winner over Oklahoma Baptist. We'll be right back after this. And we're joined now by SNU sophomore JC Soap. 15 points tonight in SNU's 65-50 win. And JC, a little bit of a slow start for you guys tonight. What was OBU throwing at you that kind of threw you guys off your game a little bit?
They didn't really do anything that threw us off. We just kind of had a slow start. Just needed to wake up a little bit, I guess.
Absolutely. The second and third quarters, excellent for you guys. 14 of 25 from the field and kind of caught fire from deep there. Just product of snapping out of that early funk there.
Yeah.
Zone defense that threw at you kind of gave you guys a little bit of problems there in that fourth quarter. It's hard to tell if it was just traditional 2-3 or if it was a little bit more flexible.
Yeah, they just kind of extended it out more. We just needed to move around more, find the gaps, and then find each other better rather than just like standing, But we finally figured it out.
Absolutely, and that's the thing that matters. JC, you've had a tremendous season thus far, one of the top 3-point shooters in the conference.
Thank you.
What has the work been like for you in the off season and throughout the season thus far for you to get to that point?
They just have us work really hard, and it's important to put our own time in, but I'm very grateful for my teammates because we push each other to get in the gym more and just to get better. So they inspire me to try to improve my game to the very best it can be because theirs is obviously really good too.
You guys have been terrific offensively of late, but defensively you've been really good all season long. #1 field goal percentage defense in the conference. How does that come about?
Cooper's really good at defense. We get all the reps that we need. He's telling us where we need to be and where we need to be at what time and getting the rotations down. And we're just really big on defense because it helps us with offense, like getting the steals and then we run on a fast break and then get a layup or get a 3 or something. So we just really like playing defense.
Well, that's a good thing because defense wins championships, or so they say.
Yeah.
You guys obviously suffered a tough loss at Henderson State, and personally, you looked as frustrated as I've ever seen you on the court in that game. How big has this homestand been for all of you to kind of get your feet back under you, bounce back, be in a comfortable environment before going back on the road?
It just feels really good, yeah. That's all I can say. It just feels really good to be home.
There's
just
no
get back
place
in
like
our
home.
flow, yeah.
So Saturday, another big game for you guys against East Central. You've already faced East Central. Do you like the double round robin and getting to face teams home and away every year?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play anywhere twice.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Except for home.
Exactly, absolutely. JC Soap 15 points tonight in SNU's 65-50 win over Oklahoma Baptist. When we come back, we'll be joined by SNU head coach Trent May and get his thoughts on tonight's win. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Joined now by SNU head coach Trent May, discussing SNU's 65-50 win over Oklahoma Baptist. And, Coach, strong second and third quarters for you guys. You got back on the right side offensively, and it seemed that big run there in the third quarter sustained you guys all the way through to the end.
Yeah, so, I mean, another win in conference. You always got to win home, and that's what we did tonight, continue to secure home court advantage, and so thankful for that.
You guys held OBU to 34.5% shooting, 17 turnovers. It seemed everybody back on the right track defensively.
Yeah,
it seemed like you weren't as pleased defensively on Saturday.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it's the small things, and we talked about awareness before the game, and you really got to find moments where you understand the awareness and where to be and when, and the ball moves, we move, and there's so many things like that we got to, we still got to get better at, and but it's, a lot of those things on Saturday, they were hitting shots, they were really feeling it, but sometimes you got to make sure that they don't get in those sweet spots, and so so we're still work in progress with those things.
Bench was excellent tonight. Mimi Garcia, 9 points and 6 rebounds. Irene Perez, 8 points, and she was really active defensively, getting her hands in passing lanes. How pleased were you with your bench performance tonight?
It was good, and so that's the thing that I kind of talked to him a little bit about this week, is sometimes you don't know where the points are going to come from on the bench, and so, but we need to have that production, and so whoever's called upon in those moments, you got to give it all you can and make sure that you're contributing, something positively to the stats and to the team, and so, good performance for our bench tonight.
Sonia Sarda, 7 more assists tonight, and some of them just amazing plays, really, and just right at the end of the shot clocks, making that extra look, extra pass. It's just really fun to watch her distribute.
Yeah, she does a great job, and she's got a flair for the game, and her vision is great. And it's funny because she does, she'll have 7 assists, and we want not so much we want more assists, but we want to limit the turnovers because she's such a good passer. And so, it's like, unfortunately, those really good passers, if they have one turnover, you're like, what's going on? But it's part of the game, but she does a really good job, and that, feeding Abby with that, she's got that eternal clock in her in her head, internal clock, and at the last second finds Abby and knows that there's enough time for Abby to get a shot off, and Abby did a great job finishing that, and so great plays.
We talked about JC Soap in the pregame, 5 of 7 from 3 tonight. You think she's reaching the apex, and it keeps just getting better and better for her. How much does that transform your offense when she's able to stretch the defense like that?
She's doing a great job with that, and it's funny because it's the same thing we talked about with Sonia and the assist. It's like, when JC misses, you're like, what's going on? Or then, I think the last few minutes, she had a wide open look, and she, unselfish, that's what a lot of our girls are, and she was looking for Kennedy, and JC was wide open, and so, but that's the kind of girls we have, is they're super unselfish. Sometimes can be a little to a detriment, but nonetheless, she had a wide open 3, and instead look for a teammate instead of taking that shot, and as a coach, you're like, hey, that's your shot, that's money ball, like, you got to let that fly, and so but she's understanding that, and so, but I just there's the score tonight, 65-50. Still want to play to our standards, and that's what we're looking to do. And so, I'm just looking for that excitement. Even when there's a lull in the game, which sometimes you're going to have, and there's going to be those moments you're not scoring or it's not going well defensively or foul trouble, it's like you got to continue to have that spark and that energy, and nothing should be taken away from your energy. And so, because that's conditional, so energy should be, that match should always be on. That flame should always be lit. And so we're still learning from that. It's another good example of tonight. It's just kind of how we just kind of cower down for a little bit, and just played soft at times and really went silent, and that's part of that going. If you're aware, you're going to talk it out. You're going to say what you see, and there's confidence in that. And so, but that was one of our weaknesses tonight. But nonetheless, we got a victory, and so we'll get better at it, and hopefully use it as a reference point and move on.
Another one on Saturday to wrap up the homestand. How big has it been to be home for 4 straight games and kind of build some big momentum?
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and the thing about it is, even though, like OBU, I know they hadn't won a conference game, they're a good basketball team with what they have. They use their players well, and the girls, they're not folding by any means. They're not just giving up and playing bad basketball. They're still competing, and obviously the run they had in the fourth quarter, and so East Central's going to do the same thing. They're going to play hard, and that's the thing, that we're not going to get any. I mean, we're a good team in this conference. People are understanding that now, and so we're always going to get everyone's best shot, in my opinion. No one's ever going to lay down and go, it's just not our night. Everyone's going to compete all the way through, all the time, and so we got to make sure that our intensity and our fire is always lit.
Absolutely. Coach, congratulations on a big win. We'll wrap things up here and get you ready for the men's game coming up next right here on the SNU Video Network and Crossover Radio Sports.
All right. Thanks, Luke.